about to get an audio update. Dak Prescott in an event today, and there's some audio of him updating on his health situation. He was so bad this season. QBR really under a passing grade. It was a 45 total QBR in those 8 games, and I don't want to believe that was a preview of the final chapter of his career. I think it was some offensive dysfunction that he had no control over. Certainly the left tackle was an adventure, and he was asked to do a lot against a very tough portion of the schedule compared to what Cooper Rush finished the season going 5-3 in. But before we get there, we'll have to tell you, segments brought to you by the Frankels. Life's unpredictable. Accidents happen. If you or a loved one's injured in a car, truck wreck, call the Frankels. Get a free consultation, 214 or 817-333-3333. Go to frankelfirm.com. It's brought to you by Cars for Kids. Donate today, carsforkids.org. Here he is at a Children's Cancer Foundation event this afternoon, and John Machota was on the scene.
Yeah, my health is, for sure. My health is good. Doing a lot more. Getting there. I think I'm 12 weeks or so out of surgery now, so I'm really looking to amp it up here recently. Got all my confidence, and we'll be fine.
Can he be as good as he was in 2023, where it was an MVP type of season, 36 touchdowns, 9 picks, a total QBR of 73.4? Dak Prescott now going to be 32 years old, turning 32 in Oxnard, Brian. What do you think the outlook is for him?
Well, I worry now about the health. I worry about the mobility. I worry about maybe them staying status quo in some areas that might not help him. Are you willing to go out and get a receiver to play opposite Lamb? What's going to happen? A
receiver, a lineman, and a running back?
Yeah.
Can you do all that?
Yeah, can you do all that? And that's... I think when they hired this coach, they had Dak Prescott in mind. Because I don't think they wanted to put him through a new coordinator and a new offense and all that stuff. But I think that Schottenheimer has to tailor things in order to help him. And I mean help him with how he's able to move or the lack of mobility.
It's going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
Like you kind of look at it like a Jared Goff offense now.
Yeah, it's and that's, if you look at Detroit, what do they have?
Great line.
Great line.
2 runners.
They got 2 runners and they got receivers that make plays.
And a tight end.
A tight end. Yeah. And so can you do enough, and will the Joneses or will the front office will they approach the draft and free agency that way? That, hey, okay, we've spent money on Lamb, we've spent money on Dak. Flus, you're probably not going to be, you're probably not going to have all the guys you want, but we're going to try and find a way now to score here, get back to that. And Flus is going to have to figure out, maybe you get Parsons and maybe you get you another defensive lineman.
I think the Cowboys pivot to how they did when Tony started getting hurt in his mid-30s, where you start loading up the offensive line. I think if the Cowboys team has to pick one or the other, that scoring will get you ratings. Scoring will make the game more entertaining, and it's going to make your franchise quarterback a lot more successful. So if I had to lean one way or the other with 100% of my assets this offseason, it would definitely be on offense.
I'm with you, and you got to improve the running game. I mean, Dak was even just, looks like Machota put out another video. He's asked about the new offense under the coaching staff, and the first thing he mentions is improve the running game.
Yeah.
So the easiest way to help your quarterback is be able to run the football, take the burden off of him, get the play action going. I do lean with you here that they'll probably go ahead and focus on that offense. But the defense, man, you got a lot of holes now that you got to fill.
And that's what I worry about. That's why I don't think they're going to be as good. I'm talking about the team, because I don't think defensively they're going to be able to do enough. You'll make people mad if you tell them that they're going to. You'll make fans mad, a lot of fans mad, if you say, hey, the front office is just going to focus on the offense and not focus on the team. And they're going to say, well, damn, what did they always focus on Dak. They always focus on him. They drafted offensive linemen. But in reality, though, some of the guys they drafted just have not been good enough.
They've made a lot of defensive picks over the last 3 years.
Absolutely. But they will say, they will say that, look at the offensive line.
You took 2 first-rounders in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the one I do think of, for argument's sake, like, who's your best player right now?
Micah.
So why not build around your best player?
I like that. You know? I don't mind that at all. But I think this year you saw enough from this offense. Again, Dak's total QBR in 8 games was 45.
Yeah.
And you saw in 2022 with Tyron Smith out of there, he led the league in picks, even though he only played 13 games.
Right.
2023, Tyron is healthy, and he has an MVP type of year. I don't know if you can leave it to chance unless you see 2025 as another rebuilding season.
Yeah.
Okay, how did the Cowboys score at drafting players? Blogging the Boys did a draft article about something else. I think it was a redraft article if you'd listen to Kuiper and McShay or Kuiper and somebody else. And that was interesting, but inside of it, they had a grade for the last 10 first-round picks. How are the Cowboys doing from 2014 to 2024? Okay. You know, at this point, the Tyron and Travis and Zach picks are falling out, and now you have Taco Charlton and Byron Jones on your ledger over the last 10 years. Obviously, the Mozzie and the Tyler Guyton. I was surprised to see them still at 12th best in the NFL over the last 10 years, considering
that's just first-round picks, right?
That's just first-round picks. So
you're just hitting on your – because you didn't hit on Taco. Yeah. That'd be a big swing and a miss. And then Leighton Vander Esch's career's been cut short.
Yeah, you only got 1 Pro Bowl season out of Leighton Vander Esch. You only got 1 Pro Bowl season out of Byron Jones. He got really good there at the end, but they had him misdiagnosed. You know, I would say no longer a good first-round drafting team or first-round drafting team. That's, you know, partially having to pick in the 20s a couple of times, but you have some pretty big misses through here. 1 at 19. You know, I think the Cowboys have to be honest with how bad this is starting to look for them with how they are trying to pull this off as a draft and develop team. You could only do that if you were really elite. Like the Ravens are the best team in the NFL at getting first-round picks to play well.
Are they number 1 on that list?
They are. Yeah, they are.
Can you give me the top 5, please? Do you have the whole list? I'm sorry.
Man, I had it up here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I found it. It's Baltimore 1. The LA Chargers at 2. Cleveland at 3. Jacksonville at 4 and Detroit at 5.
And then I think you have the 2 New York teams back to back. So drafting well in the first round and nailing it, that's the other way to look at this, is no guarantee of success.
No guarantee.
Cleveland, San Diego, bad playoff teams. It's really only the Ravens that stand out in the top 10 as doing it as an elite organization that follows it up with success. So there's a couple of different takeaways from that, but I do think it is imperative here that the Cowboys get this one right.